What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Welcome to NFL Pub Hub every Sunday right here on Pub Sports Radio. Do I need to move down? There we go, Jose. There we go. Thank you. But thank you for having the records up, as they are very important to what we're doing here. Great to see all of you guys. We have a giant Sunday, an absolute giant Sunday here ahead of us. We had a monster Saturday. Ooh-wee, one of the biggest days I've had in a long time, rolling right into Sunday. We already started 2-0 on the week, cashing the over in the Seahawks-Niners game and cashing the Niners first half. I couldn't be more pumped up right now. We have an incredible show. Bobano getting us started here in a couple minutes. Razor Sharp Picks coming in up second here, making his season debut here on NFL Pub Up. Then we have Birdy, currently second place out of 23 cappers that we've had on this show, and last year's champion. Spenny Penny Bombs is fourth. He is our leader right now in NFL Pop-Up. Then Marley Betts, who's second last year, third this year, just the most consistent capper that I've been around from Brothers and Bets. Marley is, we've switched. Yeah, no, that's the right order. There we go. Did I switch that order? Why do I feel like I switched that order up? I must not have. Let me just make sure that is the exact order, that I'm not screwing up here. Yes, no, Marley's at 11:52. Marley is fourth, and then Spenny is fifth. I don't know how I screwed that up, but let me just switch this here. Marley, I imagine that's what Jose has as well. God, I think I sent. Let me make sure I didn't send the wrong order to Jose. That was not how we want to start this show up. Birdy at 11:40, and Spenny at 11:52. Okay, so that, and then I did the tweet with Marley at 11:52 and Spenny at 12:04. So from the email, Jose, can we switch that order? It is my fault. I screwed that up. It is Marley. Marley is fourth at 11:52, and Spenny is fifth at 12:04. Spenny, our champ, this year's leader. Brizzy is at 12:16, back in business for us, and then JT going to be making his NFL Pub-Up Talk Sports with JT. About time we had him on. I can't wait to rock with JT. And then we have Connor Mack closing it up, making his season debut. So we have Razor Sharps, JT, and C-Mac making their debuts. A lot of talk about the game going on right now. 14-3 Bears right now. 14-3 Bears. Great to see all of you guys in the chat. Justin McKelvey, Dubs over 49.5 receiving yards, and Pickens over 54.5 receiving yards for Justin McKelvey. Let's make sure that we got Stacks play today completely locked in, so we can discuss throughout the day's events. Stacks. We got our guy Truth Teller in the house. WT, Smoking Mirrors, Man, Bear, Pig, Flatsy. Thank you. It was just monstrous, absolutely monstrous day in the Canadian gridiron. Tony Cobbs ready to go. Pipe Layer, Jared Bush, Donut Silks, Boogie Main, Raymond Reichart, Bloodman, Tom Leach, Jake Flanagan, Ron Lofton. What a great group. Viper NB in the house. Nasty Nate. Jedi for life. It's great to see you. Jedi, my man, been too long. Great to see all of you guys. And what a show we have for you guys. Nut Flush Allen in the house as well. Pumped up about this show. Pumped up about everything that we're doing here on the channel. So 36-32 is my record at this point, plus 0.58 units. I've got 11 more bets here for the rest of the week. I got Lions -3, Cardinals first half plus 3.5, Arizona, Green Bay under 49.5, Tampa Bay, New Orleans under 41.5. I doubled up on Chargers, Denver unders. And it was funny. I was trying to make sure that I got over 17.5 first half. I got 19.5 under 19. I know the 17.5, 19.5, not a big deal. But I got 19.5 minus 117. Full game under 36. Buccaneers -3, Titans -2.5, Giants +4, and Jets money line and Jets team total over for me. Our Pub Sports Radio circa millions. We have Bucks -3 was our number one pick. 49ers -3.5 was number 2 pick. So we get a 1-0 start. Then we have Jaguars +2, Texans -7, and the Lions -3. That's our Pub Sports Radio. So we need the Jags to come through, which does not look good here at this point. All right, it's time to get to work. Great to see you. Jay's final take on Titans trifecta. I'm right there with you. Tom Leach on Chuba Hubbard, Raymond Reichard on Pats plus 14, and the Baltimore Ravens money line. I can't wait to rock with you guys. Dougie Wise's play of the day is Ravens minus 6.5. Let's bring on your first guest, fresh off a monster show with us. Now, he wasn't with us week 5, but he was with us week 4, where he went 7-2 plus 4.6 units. He was our season 2 champion, and he's hitting lead off for us today, and we're very excited about that. Coming to us from Canada's Black and Yellow, Hamilton, Ontario. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Ian Cameron, to the program. Bobano, how are you?
Great. Always great on an NFL Sunday, as always.
I love this. I'm very excited about this opportunity to rock with all of you. Let's get to work right now, Bobano, and hammer away. Bobano gets his card started at 1 p.m. Eastern. Washington Commanders at Baltimore Ravens. Commanders 2-1 on the road, 4-1 overall in the juggernaut right now. Ravens just 3-2, 1-1 at home at M&T Bank Stadium. Baltimore, Maryland, 78 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8 miles per hour. Story injury-wise, Brian Robinson Jr. out with the knee injury. Not that big of a deal, really, because McNichols has been so strong of late. And for the Ravens, they're in pretty good shape. They have defensive tackle Broderick Washington out with a knee injury, Arthur Mollett with a knee hamstring, cornerback, linebacker Malik Harrison, a groin injury, but they're pretty healthy. And the players they have on the injury report, Marlon Humphrey and Ronnie Stanley, are expected to be good to go and in the lineup. Let's get this line history up here for our first one on the board. This game's talked about with a few cappers. I find it extremely what's tricky? Let me just say tricky. The number. I'll let our experts weigh in and let them handle this one. This opened up was Washington plus 6.5 at minus 102, a number that didn't make sense to me. I thought everybody would be on Washington with this number, and then it moves to 7. It moves to 7, and now you can still get 6.5, but that's just a absolutely unbelievable situation. That scares me. This total's at 51.5. It's minus 111 to the under. It opened up at 51. We have a half-point move to the over. And when we get to the cash flow for our first game of the day, just 27% of the tickets and 24% of the cash is on the Commanders. So we're talking 112,000 tickets. I see a number that, how in the world are you not on the Commanders? And only 27% of the tickets come in on them. It's a surprise. 74% ticket, 75% cash on the over. Bobano, take it away. Your game 1, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. I love when you hit lead off. Commanders, Ravens, floor is yours.
Yeah, I have Washington here, but I have them, and I have plus the points and the team total, but I'm only giving out the team total here because I do fear this is a step up. I do fear for their defense, which I think, it could be a bad matchup for them. They're not great against the run. They got to deal with Jackson and Henry, of course, for Baltimore, who've been absolutely tremendous. I could see them struggling with that today, that Washington Commanders defense. So taking them team total-wise instead of the spread, I don't have to worry if they fall behind in this game. And they can always get you points. We know with their offense and Jaden Daniels, they can always score late, even if in a blowout game. So I just feel rather than the plus the points, the team total with Washington's the better route. I also like this full game over. I got it at 51 minus 112 at Pinnacle. We'll lock that in as well. I really think Washington's defense will be challenged here by Baltimore. The run that they have shown, it's been outstanding all week, the way different formations, and I definitely think they're going to struggle with that. But I think it's asking a lot of this Baltimore defense to completely shut down this Commanders offense. They still have issues in the secondary. I think they've missed the former coordinator, Mike McDonald, quite honestly. They've got some issues there. That secondary is not great. They're very good against the run, but there was not going to be Brian Robinson today anyway. They're going to go with Austin Eckler as the primary running back here in this game. It's going to come down to Jaden Daniels, and he's probably going to have to run the football more himself, and he's probably going to have to throw the football a little bit more. We'll see if he can do that, but I'm convinced the more I watch the Ravens secondary, it's just not that great. There's Joe Burrow lighting them up last week. Even though Baltimore won, they won because of that offense. They certainly did not win because of their defense. So 2 bets for me. Washington team total over 20.5 at minus 150. I decided let's pay the minus 150 to get below that key number of 21. And we're also on over 51 minus 112.
You are locked and loaded. Commanders team total over 21.5 minus 150 and the over 51 at minus 112. Thank you to WT. I'll put my coffee in the air. Thank you so much for the dono and to bless our action. Our guy WT.
And I've been riding Washington for weeks, so it's one of those deals where if you haven't been, I don't know if this is the week to do it, but I've been riding Washington. I have no problem doing it one more time.
But off the spread, which was not easy, I imagine.
I just prefer the team total because there's that fear like it's 35 to like 17 for Baltimore late in the game, and they're not going to cover the spread, Washington, but they could get that backdoor touchdown and they go over the team total even if they don't cover. That's why I think the team total is the better way to go if you like Washington.
You are locked and loaded. Here we got Kingu, Rob McMahon, Wager Detective, Paco Healy, Steve G, Dabby Cab, D Jenkins. Great to see all of you guys. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board for Bobano. Cardinals, Packers, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Here we have a rain. A big part of this rain is it's not supposed to last all game long. So keep that in mind for live betting, but also double check. You know, these things are changing quickly. But as of an hour and a half or 2 hours ago, it wasn't supposed to rain throughout the game, but was supposed to rain at kickoff. Let's get into this one. For the Cardinals, Zay Jones hamstring out. So is defensive lineman Darius Robinson. Matt Prater may or may not be available with the left knee injury, but they have Chad Ryland, who went 3 of 4 last week against the 49ers. I mean, I know they want Prater, but we'll see if Chad Ryland will fill in at kicker there. For you guys, for them. For the Packers, of course, Jair Alexander, questionable. And, you know, Morgan also, Jordan Morgan, their offensive lineman, questionable. They were limited all week. They have put Luke Musgrave on IR as well. So Luke Musgrave on IR. Let's get into the line history here for this one. I did move on the 2 spot. I'm doubled up on this game. I'm on the Cards first half plus 3.5 and the under 49.5. This under is now at 47. I beat it by 2.5 points, and it was beaten by other cappers more than me. You could have got 50.5. That was the opening line. It already moved back. So we have a 3.5 point move now to the under. On the spread here with this one, we have here we go. On the spread, we have Green Bay right now minus 5.5 and minus 104. So this has not moved. Open up 5.5 minus 106. So just 2 cents of movement. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 68% of the tickets and 50% of the cash on the over. And yet this has dropped heavy towards the under. On the spread, 58% of tickets, 51% of cash on the Cardinals. Bobano, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, with this total, it's tough. Look, there's going to be some bad weather here. They're just calling for rain. They're calling for some heavy wind. That's what took me off this over. I was leaning that way early in the week. There's certainly potential for these two offenses to score, but with the weather being like it is, the wind's the bigger problem. Like if it's going to be a little bit windy in Lambeau, that's the bigger fear, as it always is, you know, when you're looking at an over in a particular game. I like Green Bay a little bit here. I look Arizona, and I was on it. I loved Arizona last week. I thought that was a phenomenal spot for them, getting 7.5. Here they are. They're only getting 5 in this game. And the one thing about Arizona, they're consistently inconsistent. You know, we know that about them. They can have one great game and then the next game, not so much. This could be their not so much game, you know, after that big win against San Francisco. And you have to put that comeback in context. Niners were still battling a lot of injuries. They lost Jake Moody. They couldn't kick field goals. They had to go for it on 4th down. It really gave Arizona that extra lifeline to hang around in that game. Let's see how they can fare here now. They got to go another road trip, Midwest, early start time here against a Green Bay team that, look, they played very well in the second half. Their defense is getting healthier. And certainly Jordan Love in this offense, there's great potential there. And they should be able to do what they want because Arizona, to me, they're still having issues on defense. Like I said, if Moody doesn't get injured for the Niners, I'm not totally sure. I'm thrilled they won the game because I was on them last week, but I'm not sure they win that game. So I think this is a tough spot for Arizona. We'll take the Pack here, -5, -112 at Pinnacle.
Packers -5.5. Was it 5 flat?
5 flat. Yep.
At -112.
Yep.
Bobano on the board in that one. We roll on to 1 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, Caesar Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana. Both teams dealing with the litany of injuries. Mainly with the Buccaneers, Rashad White, doubtful. They have some good news in Gadecki and Kalijah Cansey will both be out there. Winfield was limited all week, so there's another one where we don't know.
He's playing, apparently. I thought I saw Ian Rappaport tweet out that he's playing.
I love that. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's very, very helpful for those of us on the Bucks. For the Saints, another just
the Bucks are nearly full strength. Safeties Antoine Winfield Jr. and Jordan Whitehead, both of them in the safety spot, likely to play today for Tampa.
Extremely important. And you want to take advantage of the Saints' weaknesses, and they are just injured.
Pete Derek Carr interception right now.
Derek Carr oblique injury. Taysom Hill.
Or no, not Derek. Spencer Rattler, of course.
Spencer Rattler, yes. Spencer Rattler will be making his first career start with Carr out here. And also Alvin Kamara available. But Cesar Ruiz out. We already know McCoy's out. Cesar Ruiz would be replacing McCoy. They also have Lucas Patrick, an offensive lineman who's questionable with a chest injury, but they need him out there. Will Harris out with a hamstring injury. The Pete Werner loss, massive. Let's get into the line history here for Saints Bucks. We have the Saints at -3.5 at plus money. Now, most of us got in at 3 that were on, but a lot of people got much better lines than that. I shouldn't say most of us, but I got the 3. Now it's a 3.5. When we get to the total here in this one, we are dealing with a 42. So this opened up at 41.5 and has climbed up to 42.5. I know the look ahead was 44.5, but I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm on the under and it's gone up a point. Maybe I was a little too quick to that. Take it away for us here, Bobano, Bucks, Saints.
Yeah, this is double up time for me on Tampa. I love the spot. That was a frustrating loss. Tampa was very frustrated after losing that game to Atlanta. They probably shouldn't. They probably should have closed that game out last Thursday night. They lose in overtime, so you got a team in a bounce back spot against a division foe that's ripe for the picking. I'm stunned Dennis Allen didn't go to Jake Haener instead. I thought Jake Haener was the better choice to replace Derek Carr. I don't know why he's going to Spencer Rattler. To me, it's just a bad decision, especially now with Tampa's defense and especially their safety position, their secondary getting healthier. I think this is going to be a tough day for Rattler. Meanwhile, this New Orleans defense is not only not great right now, we saw Kansas City just do whatever they want on offense against them. They're banged up. The linebacking core is decimated. Baker Mayfield and company, I think, bounce back strong, and they move the football in the process. So I'm going Tampa -3, -120 at Pinnacle. And I'm also going Tampa team total over 22.5, -120 at Pinnacle.
Bucks team total over 22.5 at -120. Sorry, what was your number on the spread?
Also -120, -3.
Yeah, I like it. I'm right there with you. Bucks -3 at -120. Team total over 22.5. Dust 10 says the Bucks seem like a gift. I think I might have screwed it up here. With the under 41 taking, I think I might have screwed that up. Harold Williams on Tampa Bay -3.5.
I think Tampa gets theirs, but I could see 31 to, or I could see something like 28 to, or 24, 28 to 10, 13, and you still might slide under.
I'd be very comfortable with that. And I'm with you, Paco. I do have them in the contest as well. We roll on. Next up on the board, 1 p.m. Eastern, Cleveland Browns at Philadelphia Eagles. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 75 Fahrenheit, sunny, 9 miles per hour. Nick Chubb not back yet. Delpit, safety, out with a concussion. So is Ronnie Hickman Jr., another safety, out with an ankle injury. James Hudson on the tackle is out, and Ethan Pocic out as well, their center. So a lot of issues. Now, Nick Harris is going to fill in at center. We know that. And we think that Charvarius Ward is back here Denzel Ward. Charvarius Ward Denzel Ward. We expect Denzel Ward back. He practiced on Friday. And the Eagles are a very healthy team. That's the first time we've said that all season long. So this is a team that's coming off the bye and getting many players back. And that's why we have this huge line. Let's talk about this total first. 41.5 opened up at 44. We've dropped 2.5 points down to 41. A big move to the under. On the spread here, we have a 9.5, but there are 8.5s now. This is moving down. 8.5 at 8.5. Now an 8. Wow, an 8 at Heritage, an 8 at Bovada. This is all over the map. 8.5 at Will Hill in my bookie. The 9.5 at Pinnacles -120 to Cleveland, which means we've had a 14-cent move towards the Cleveland Browns. Cash flow wise, 38% of the tickets, 33% of the cash on the Browns, 76% of the tickets, and 70% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Bobano, Browns Eagles.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Nick Sirianni, and this Eagles team sometimes can be very frustrating. But I have to today because I think this is home run spot time for the Philadelphia Eagles. They've got blown out by Tampa before the bye. They're off the bye. They're off the loss. They're in a division now that's very competitive. Dallas has won 2 in a row. Washington's played great. This is an important game for the Eagles. They can't screw around here. This is a horrible Cleveland team. This is an even worse quarterback right now in Deshaun Watson. This is absolutely a team you got to come in here and put them away and put them away early. Don't give them any reason to believe they have a chance here in this game. You're the much better football team. Come out there and prove it. I'm going to go first half full game here on Philly. Philly minus 4.5, minus 114 first half at Bet Rivers. Full game -8, minus 110 at Bet 99. Nothing more to say.
You are locked in. Philly first half -4.5, minus 114. Full game -8, minus 110. Next up, we have another team beaten up, but a little better than we thought in Colts, Titans, Nissan Stadium, Nashville, Tennessee. 81 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 12 miles per hour in Nashville. We know Jonathan Taylor's out. We knew that all week, but we thought Michael Pittman was out too. He looks like he could play, which is a big surprise. Full practice participant on Friday. We heard earlier in the week that he was going to be out for a considerable amount of time with the back injury. Josh Downs still dealing with the toe injury. He's listed as questionable, and Anthony Richardson expected to play here. Let's get into and the Titans are missing Jamal Adams. I shouldn't leave that out. Keandre Coburn, a defensive lineman, and linebacker Cedric Gray out, but Jamal Adams is out with the hip injury. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Of course, Levis back, but under center for Tennessee. Tennessee -2.5, minus 116. They opened up +1 at minus 116. We had the 3.5 point move. I wanted the market to give me some information, and then of course it was massive amount of information. And I feel like maybe I'm on the idiot's end of this line here with the 2.5 on the Titans, but I am on them -2.5 at minus 110. This total is at 42.5. It is juiced to the under. This opened up at 42. It got up to 43.5. And now it's back to 42.5. Still a half-point move towards the over. So we have a massive move towards the Titans, half-point move towards the over. Only 26% of the tickets and 28% of cash is on these Tennessee Titans. 81% of the tickets and 74% cash is on the over. Take it away for us here, Bobano. Colts, Titans.
A lot of injuries on defense for the Colts. Tons of injuries. Now, it's weird on offense. It was looking really bad early in the week, but they get Anthony Richardson back. They do. Michael Pittman's going to play. I don't know how. This guy apparently had a back that seized up. Bad back injury. Sounded like he was going to go on IR. Suddenly he's playing today. So, but is he 100%? I guess we're going to find out. And of course, no Jonathan Taylor here for Indianapolis today. So that's a lot of injuries. Titans off a bye week, but the Titans were gold off a bye, as Truth Teller says in the chat when Vrabel was the coach. But this Callahan now, Callahan Auto Parts. So let's see how it goes. There's a different coach now.
Bit of a difference in that one, yeah.
Big difference, but I like the spot still for Tennessee, Jimmy. I do. I think it's a good bet on them this week. It's second straight road game for Indy. I think their pressure defensively can get to Flacco, maybe force him into, or not Richardson's playing, but force him into mistakes. He can still make them when he's under pressure. Hopefully they keep him inside the pocket, force him to become a pocket passer because he can be sometimes good, sometimes completely off when he's forced to throw the football more times than not. So I'm going to go Tennessee here, minus 144. Minus 142 is the best price right now at Bet Victor with the money line. I'm also going to go over the total. It's just that to me, there's too many injuries on defense. I think the total's low enough. Tennessee can finally have a good offensive game with Levis. And look, I don't think that the Colts will probably put up some points as well. And the total's low enough. I think it can get over 42. Over 42 minus 110.
Over 42 minus 110. We have next up 4:05 p.m. Eastern, Chargers, Broncos. It's funny. I was trying so hard to get the best number in the totals. And I think I did an okay job because I got that 19.5 first half at just minus 117. But it's back at 17.5. That total went from 17.5 down to 17. Now back to 17.5. Makes me a little uncomfortable. I'm also on the full game under 36. Let's get into it. 66 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour. Winds in Mile High, Denver, Colorado. We have Asante Samuel for the Chargers. Their cornerback out. Gus Edwards out. And Jazir Taylor, defensive back, out. Joey Bosa, hip is questionable. Rashawn Slater, questionable. We know that Joe Alt will be back. We know that Herbert got the extra week of rest for his high ankle sprain, and he's in much better condition. Bosa, Leonard, and Slater, we expect to all be in. Defensive back, Leonard, all in. For the Broncos, they're a pretty healthy group. They don't have Josh Reynolds, a wide receiver, or Luke Wattenberg, ankle injury. They're two players that are questionable, are both expected to play. They're both full participants. Let's get into the line history here for this one. This total 35.5. It is juiced to the over. This opened up at 37.5, and it did get down to 34.5, which made me very pleased. But it's back at 35.5 and juiced to the over, which a little uncomforting from a side perspective. Here, sorry, move over here. From a side perspective, we have the Broncos +3 at -114. It did open up at 2.5, and it's now at 3. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 40% of the tickets and 47% of the cash on the Chargers, 82% of the tickets and 77% cash on the over. When this line came out, it didn't really make sense to me that the Broncos could possibly be a dog after what we've seen from them the last 3 weeks. Very, very interesting spot. Take it away, Bobano.
Denver's playing better, right? 3 straight wins. They've looked like they've gotten themselves righted a little bit, right the ship. Bucks, it was a very good win on the road to get it started. The Jets upset, although that was really the Jets really screwing up in that game. And then the Raiders, they really take them apart last week, blowout, and played one of their better games on defense. Like I said, Bo Nix is playing better. This, to me, though, is a very good sell-high spot on Denver. I love this situation for the Chargers. They're off the bye week. I thought they competed. Look at the way they competed against Kansas City before the bye week. Herbert was hobbled. They had injuries galore, tons of injuries, O-line, defense, receivers. And yet Kansas City needed a touchdown in the fourth quarter to go ahead and win that game. It was tied going early in the fourth quarter. Now you get them a little bit healthier coming out of the bye week. I think Herbert's probably going to have a little bit more mobility. Harbaugh historically, certainly in his college days, and even in his first NFL stint, was pretty good off a bye week, his track record. I think it is a really nice spot for the LA Chargers here, and I like him here to get the job done at Denver. So Chargers -148 money line.
Chargers -148 money line here for Bobano. 2 spots left before Razor Sharp Picks makes his season debut here on NFL Pub-Up. 4:25 p.m. Eastern, we have Lions Cowboys here at AT&T Stadium, and it looks like we have breaking news here from our producer Jose Bouquet.
Yes, you should give me a second so I can bring up the breaking news. Damn it, Jimmy! But Anthony Richardson's hurt. Joe Flacco is starting.
Joe Flacco is starting. That is official now. Joe Flacco is starting for the Cowboys. I thought
I misspoke there saying Joe Flacco a minute ago because I thought it was Richardson too. Now I figured it is going to be Flacco now.
It is Flacco. It is Flacco. And DG Skydragon says good. I agree. If you're on the Colts, that's good news. Lions Cowboys here. I was wrong last week. I thought that these injuries to the defense of the Cowboys were going to be something that even Justin Fields could take advantage of. And I was wrong, and it cost me money. Well, I'm doing it again. I do not understand how with DeMarcus Lawrence on IR, Micah Parsons out, and now Eric Kendricks also out, that they can still deliver the goods. And we have a very healthy Lions squad. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Lions -3 is -115 right now. It did open up at 3.5. Now that 3.5 was plus money for the Lions. It's a 3 now. So we've moved slightly towards, not slightly, we've moved towards the Dallas Cowboys. On the total here, we have a 53 -110 to the under. This was at 52. It moved to 53 about 20 minutes ago. From a cash flow standpoint, we have 72% of the tickets, 72% of the cash on the Lions, and 67% of tickets, 76% cash on the over. Take it away, Bobano.
Yeah, Detroit in the over in this game. I think both of those are worth a look. How is Dallas going to stop Detroit? There's no DeMarcus Lawrence. There's no Micah Parsons. It's a decimated defensive front. Secondary's not really all that great to begin with. How are they going to stop Montgomery and Gibbs on the ground? It reminds me of the Baltimore game all over again. They're going to be able to run the football right down Dallas's throat with those two guys. And it wouldn't shock me to see that happen. Meanwhile, Detroit's secondary is the one issue that they do have, in my opinion. There's still some issues. I've been disappointed with Terry and Arnold. Is it just me too, or is Carlton Davis not the same player he once was? I've seen him struggle this year with the Lions. Yeah, they got him from Tampa, but you got to wonder if maybe he was a little bit better earlier in his career with the Bucs. So I think that means Dak and CD, in the passing game are going to be able to have some success. So it's also why I like the over here, is because I think Dallas is going to be able to have some success. But I think Detroit, it's going to be like the Baltimore game in Dallas earlier this year, where they could score on almost every possession. I think that's how big the mismatch of the Detroit offensive line with a healthy Frank Ragnow back at center, by the way, for this game, against a Dallas defensive front with no Lawrence and no Parsons. That's how big the mismatch could be for Detroit's O-line against the Dallas D front. So I'm going to go Detroit -3, -115 at Pinnacle, and over 52, -118.
You got it. You got it. And DG's right. Tampa Bay had a million injuries, and Detroit couldn't do anything. You're right. And Dallas was able, this is, now look, we did see Detroit's offense explode against a very weak, maybe explodes the wrong word, but look very good against a weak Seahawks defense. So we'll have to see here. I'm a little nervous about this spot. I'm right with him on the Lions -3. Final spot on the board for Bobano before Razor Sharp Picks makes his season debut here. Cincinnati Bengals, New York Giants, our Sunday nighter. MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our live stream right here for this one. 68 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour. Chase Brown with the quad injury and quarterback Mike Hilton, knee injury, questionable here. But Hilton being a full participant in practice all week. And Brown was limited on Friday. Supposedly the injury happened on Thursday. We'll have to see how things go. Gesicki and Zach Moss are not on the injury report, which is good news. Malik Neighbors not going to play. Singletary's been limited in practice all week. So if it's Tyrone Tracy, it's possible Tyrone Tracy will have to make a second start and hopefully can look as good as he did in the first one. I'm on the Giants +4. Right now they're at +3.5, -106. So this line is not moved from the opening at Pinnacle. On the total here, and I know a lot of great cappers on the other side of me. I'm very nervous about the spot. I was on the Giants last week too, so maybe I'm just going back to the well one too many times. This total opened up at 48. It went down to 45.5 this morning. It's come back a half point to 46. But this morning, it moved from 47 to 45.5 before climbing back up to 46. We get to the cash flow in this one. 80% of the tickets, 86% of the cash on the Bengals. I like that. 72% of tickets, 69% of cash on the over. Take it away for us, Bobano. The floor is yours, my friend. Your final game on the card.
Yeah, side and total. I'm with you on the Giants +4, -118. I don't feel as good about it closer to kickoff. I don't know about you. I don't feel quite as good about it, but how can I lay 4 on the road with this Bengals defense right now? That's the way I see it. They've been awful. They've been terrible. Every single week they've been terrible. Even Andy Dalton in Carolina a few weeks ago had a lot of success moving the ball against Cincinnati. So there's all kinds of issues with that. I'm also on this over here, 45 -120. I know it's dropping. I get it. Sunday night football, primetime games have gone under. Not so much lately, though. We got our over Thursday night, you and I, Jimmy, with that Seattle-San Francisco game. I mean, when it makes sense to look at to me, it does. I mean, 45 with this Bengals defense right now. And as much as the Giants defense, played solid against Seattle last week, they will be in tough here. And I think Burrow and the Bengals offense can have success here against this Giants defense. So I like over 45 and also the Giants +4.
You got it, Bobano. Over 45 -120 and the Giants +4. Then he's on the Lions -3 and the over 52 in Lions Cowboys. Chargers -148. He's on Titans -142 and the over 42 in Indianapolis, Tennessee. He's on Philly first half -4.5 full game -8. He's on the Bucks -3 at -120 and the Bucks team total over 22.5. He's on the Packers -5 at -112 and the Commanders team total over 21.5 and the over 51 at -112 for Washington, Baltimore. He's coming off a 7-2 4.6 unit week 4 with us, and then he crushed week 5 as well. He wasn't with us week 5, but going for 3 straight big weeks, getting to the black, getting to the top 5. Our guy Bobano, star of the Ice Guys and Hitting the Books. Please support those 2 shows and support him on X at Bobano Bets. Bobano, any last words for the cappers supporting the show, my friend?
No, just I'm heating up. The last 2 weeks have been great in the NFL. Hopefully it's a third straight really good week in the NFL, and same for everyone. I hope you have a great week. Cash some tickets. Same to you, Jimmy. And we'll see you Monday night for the live stream. Bills and Jets.
Can't wait, my man. There he is, Ian Cameron. Our next guest, a fixture on our channel, also the star of the greatest horse racing show in the world, Racing with Razor. Please welcome our guy, Razor Sharp Picks, to the show. Razor, how are you, my man?
Give me the bag. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on? It's Sunday.
It's Canadian Thanksgiving, man. You're going to have to give me, I got it.
It's Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Also, found something disrespectful. We got 300 people watching, and we don't even have 100 likes. Hit the like button down below, share the video, and subscribe.
Ooh. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Oh, man.
Salute.
And Razor, I celebrated Canadian Thanksgiving by going 8-0 plus over 9 units in Canadian football and NHL.
Let's go. Let's keep it going today.
Woo! Let's go. Razor Sharp picks in the house. 1 p.m. Eastern. We have Arizona Cardinals at Green Bay Packers. Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. 52 Fahrenheit, rain, 8 miles per hour. We've already set this game up, Razor. How are you getting paid, my friend?
First things first, you know me, big reverse line movement on this game. 79% of the cash, 90% of the tickets on the over, but the line opened up at 49.5, dropped to 49, dropped to 48, and it's now sitting at 47.5. I got 47.5 at minus 110. The Packers have been playing under games. 5-0 their last 5, 7-1 their last 8 versus the NFC West. Also in October, 5-0 their last 5, 16-6 their last 22 games in October. And then when they're playing at home on a Sunday, 7-3 their last 10 games have all gone to the under. I expect rain in this game, so I don't expect a whole lot of deep, big bomb passes. Not a lot of offense in this game. Arizona has forced 7 turnovers this season, while the Packers have turned over the ball 8 times. So even if they get close to the red zone, it doesn't mean a touchdown. You got to look out for those turnovers. I hit Arizona Packers under 47.5.
Yeah, we can. Actually, you know what? I can't get you a 47.5 right now, but it's minus 120. Is that okay? Do you mind?
All my action was tweeted out. Does that matter?
Beautiful. Okay, you're locked and loaded. Okay, beautiful. Okay, Razor, and I will retweet that as well. Razor under 47.5. And what was the juice?
Minus 110.
Oh, locked and loaded. Minus 110 on the 47.5. This is dropping. I was surprised to see that over at Pinnacle when I went on their site. Let's move on to the next one on the board for Razor. Browns, Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We've already set this one up with our guy, Bobano. So Bobano has set this one up with Phillies, Eagles, first half minus 4.5, and Eagles full game minus 8. Razor, what's your plan?
Another big reverse line movement in this one. We got 76% of the bets, 74% of the cash on the over. Line opened up at 44, dropped to 43. It's now at 42.5. Eagles are coming off a bye week, as we all know, and they play pretty damn good football here on defense after coming off a bye. Last year, they played the Chiefs, which we thought was going to be a high-scoring game. Total was set at 45.5. It ended up being 21-17. Also, the Eagles 4-2 their last 6 games have gone under. And look at their scoring. They scored 16, 15, 21, and 34. So they're not scoring a lot. And they're also, their defense, they're led up 33, 12, 29, and 22. I don't think there's going to be a lot of offense in here. The Browns have to run the ball, which means tick, 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 tick. Eagles are finally healthy. I think they're going to run the shit out of the ball. And the Browns, 3-1, their last 4 have gone under. And the Browns aren't scoring as well. 13, 16, 15, and 13. And I don't think it's going to get any better against the Eagles. And I know these teams, head-to-head, they only play every 4 years. This is the 4th year, but all those games have gone under. 0-3-1 when they play each other. I hit the under. I got under 42.5 at minus 110.
You are locked in, my friend. Next spot on the board, 1 p.m. Eastern. Houston Texans 4-1, 1-1 on the road. The New England Patriots 1-4, 0-2 at home. Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. We have 53 Fahrenheit and showers. Showers in this one. Showers at 3 p.m. We talked about that. The rain at the Packers game is at this point supposed to not rain the whole game. Here, showers throughout. Now, showers isn't rain, so keep an eye on what's going on. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. It's not as strong as rain. Texans, Robert Woods, wide receiver, out with the foot injury. Jimmy Ward out with a groin injury. And Kamari Lassiter, cornerback, out with a shoulder injury. Derek Barnett, shoulder injury. They're hoping he can play, and they do expect Mixon to play here. It's looking a little better, his status. I don't know if that's been confirmed yet. For the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson is out. Then they have a ton of players listed as questionable, and all of those players are expected to play. The big one is Sione Takitaki, because he's been out all year, and losing Jawan Bentley has created a situation where they badly need reinforcements at the linebacking position. This total is at 38, and it's Drake Mayday. It's Mayday. Sabres fans know all about that. This total opened up at 39. It's dropped to 38. So we have Drake May starting at quarterback here for the Patriots. And from a point spread situation, We have this at plus. It's a 6.5 market wide. They're showing the 7 here at Pinnacle. This 7 is plus 109 if you want Houston. Now this 7 did open minus 103, so we have 12 points or 12 cents of movement on the 7. And when we get to the cash flow here for the Patriots, we have 80% of the tickets, 80% of the cash on the Texans, 85% of the tickets, 74% of cash on the over. Razor sharp picks, my friend. Take it away.
Another beautiful thing, reverse line movement. But that, you can't bet a game just on reverse line movement. You have to have other things to back it up, and we'd have just that. First things first, reverse line movement, 86% of the cash, like you said, 76% of the bets on the over. Total opened up at 40, 39, 38.5, 38, down to 37.5 before it just went back up to 38. Houston, they've been playing the under game, and so have the Pats. Houston, 4-1 their last 5 to the under, 4-1 their last 5, 7-2 their last 9 when they play the AFC East. October games, Houston 6-0 their last 6, 9-3 their last 12 have all gone under. And when Houston is a favorite, it's even better. 6-1 their last 7, 9-3 their last 12, and right now they are a 6.5 point favorite. On the other side, like I said, the Patriots, they are under as well. 5-2 their last 7 home games, 4-1 their last 5 versus the AFC. And October, another beautiful thing, 5-2 their last 7. As long as we can get a low-scoring first half, man, this thing is going to go way under. Houston, I don't know what it is. They go into halftime and they slap hands and play pity-pat because they do not talk about the game. They have scored in the second half, besides week 1 where they scored 17. In the second half, they scored 3 against the Bears, 7 against the Vikings, 7 against the Jags, and 6 against the Bills. There's no offense in the second half for Houston. They're just trying to tick, trying to get out of the game with the W. And I expect the same thing here. Texans, Patriots, under. I got 37.5 minus 110.
Under 37.5 at minus 110. Next spot on the board, 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Haven't talked about this one yet. Pittsburgh Steelers at Las Vegas Raiders, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Steelers are missing Alex Highsmith, of course, and Nick Herbig, his replacement. Safety DeMonte Casey also out. So is running back kick returner Cordero Patterson, who in a very short sample size looked like their best running back. Now he's out as well. DeMarvin Leal also out, defensive end, as is tight end Michael Pruitt. For the Raiders, Devontae Adams out, Michael Mayer out, and the questionable players are expected to be in the lineup. Let's get into the line history here for Steelers Raiders. We have Las Vegas +3 at plus 105. This opened +3 at minus 110. So there has been a from minus 102 to minus 115, a 13-cent move towards the Pittsburgh Steelers here. On the total, we have a 36.5. It's minus 108 to the under. So there's been a 1 cent move towards this under at Pinnacle at this number at 36.5. 76% of the tickets, 79% of the cash on the Steelers, 84% of the tickets, and 66% of cash on the over. We did think Russell Wilson would be a quarterback this week. He is not. He's healthy. He is the backup to Justin Fields. Take it away for us here, Razor. Steelers, Raiders.
More reverse line movement on this one as well. You got to love it. Public is hammering the over, and the total is dropping. We got Pittsburgh at Vegas, and, man, this game is talking about the under as well. If we look at the defensive stats for the Raiders, they lead in every category except the running, which is good for the under, which means the only way Pittsburgh gets any offense going here is running the ball, which means tick. Here in the Pittsburgh games, they have all gone under as well. 4-1 their last 5, 5-2 their last 7. When they play the AFC West, 4-1 their last 5 have gone to the under. And in October, I don't know what it is, Pittsburgh, but every October game goes under. 5-0 their last 5, 9-2 their last 11, and their last 45 October games, 32 and 13 have gone to the under. 6-2 their last 8, and 15-6 their last 21 when they are favorite. And right now they are a 3-point favorite. On the other side, the Raiders, under. 4-1 their last 5, 9-2 their last 11 versus AFC North, 19-3 their last 22 week 6 games. And head-to-head, 5-1 the last 6 times. And when in Oakland, 4-1 the last 5, 7-2 the last 9.
You are locked. You are locked and loaded. Under 36.5, -110 for Steelers, Raiders. Next spot on the board is our Sunday night live stream, Razor. I hope that you can be a part of this show this evening. Bengals, Giants, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, 68 Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour. We've set this game up already with Bobano, so we just want to hear, Razor, how you are getting paid. Take it away.
Man, I'm going to sound like a broken clock. Tick, 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 tick. More unders, gentlemen. Giants, Bengals, under 47.5. More reverse line movement. Total opened up at 48.5. Dropped to 48. Dropped to 47. I see it right now. It's dropping even lower, down to 46. The Bengals, 5-1. Their last 6 games have gone under versus the NFC East. But the real play is the Giants. The Giants have played under football for the past 25 years. 5-1 their last 6, 14-6 their last 20 games have all gone under, and it's better when they're at home. 8-2 their last 10, 23-8 their last 31 home games have all gone under. When they play the AFC, 6-0 their last 6 to the under. When it's the AFC North, 5-0 their last 5 have gone to the under. In October games, I don't know what about these October games, but the defense starts stepping up for all teams, and the Giants, 4-1 their last 5 October games have gone under. 10-2 their last 12. When they're an underdog, which they are tonight, plus 3.5, I do lean that side as well. 5-1 their last 6, 16-6 their last 22 games have gone to the under when they are an underdog, and it gets even better when they are at home. 6-1 their last 7, 22-16 their last 28 home Sunday games have all gone under. Head-to-head, these last 5 times, 4-1 their last under. We all know about the Sunday Night Football. 5-0 last 5, 31-10 the last 3 years, 60, 31-2 since 2019. I got the under 47, -110, Giants, Bengals, and this is my gambler's first glance play of the day.
You are locked and loaded. GFG right here on NFL Pub Hub. It is the under 47 for our guy, Razor Sharp Picks. Under 47, -110, GFG, Bengals, Giants, Sunday nighter. We roll on to the next spot. Shout out to WT, now a member of Pub Sports Radio for 11 months. WT, thank you for the extremely kind words, my friend. Love capping with you. Our guy WT in the house. Final spot on the board for Razor Sharp Picks is our Monday nighter. Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, 51 Fahrenheit, clear, 13 mile per hour winds. Much windier tomorrow night than it is tonight. We have Ed Oliver out and, of course, Von Miller out for the Bills. James Cook questionable with the toe injury. Cook and Shakir missed practice Thursday and Friday, but both returned as a limited participant on Saturday. For the Jets, Michael Carter II, their cornerback, out. Ty Conklin, tight end, and linebacker C.J. Mosley are both expected or hoped. Or they're hoping they play. They're both limited participants in the last 3 practice sessions. Let's get into the line history for the Monday nighter here. We have the total at 41, -115 to the under. This opened up at 42, dropped a point to 41, and is juiced to the under. On the spread, we have the Jets plus 2.5 at -112. They opened up plus 2.5, -102, 10 cents of movement towards the Jets. And then on the cash flow for a Monday nighter. Oh, do I have to? Yes. No, where is it? Sorry. Here we go. 61% of the tickets on the Bills, but just 40% of the cash. 78% of the tickets and 49% of the cash on that over. Take it away, Razor, your last spot on the board.
Big reverse lineman on this one as well. Total opened up at 44, dropped to 43.5, 42.5, 41.5, and it's down to 41. The Bills, 5-1 their last 6 road games have gone under, 15-4 their last 19. Also, like I say, October, defense steps up, 4-1 their last 5, 9-2 their last 11 games have gone under. The Jets, 16-6 their last 22 games versus the AFC have all gone under. And when it's the AFC's division rivalry game, man, these things are almost automatic. 4-1 their last 5, 11-1 the last 12 have gone under. Also, 5-2 the last 7 when playing at home. Monday Night Football, the Jets games have gone under. Head-to-head, division rivalry, like I said, it's almost automatic. These two teams have played 5 times the last 5 times. All have gone under. 8-3 their last 11. And when the Jets are at home, 4-1 their last 5 to the under. The Jets defense leads in every category against the Bills offense. and the same way the other way around. Bills D leads in every category against the Jets offense. So I think there's going to be a lot of tick, 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 tick. And I'm hitting the under. Jets, Bills, under 41 at -110.
You got it. Under 41 at -110 on the Monday nighter. Oh, here, sorry, minus. There we go. On the Monday nighter, on the Sunday nighter, under 47.5, Bengals, Giants, Steelers, Raiders under 36.5. Then in Texans, Patriots under 37.5, Browns, Eagles under 42.5. And he starts his card off with the under 47.5 in Arizona, Green Bay Packers. Razor, excellent work, my friend. Tell us about what's going on with Racing with Razor YouTube channel.
I appreciate it as always. Racing with Razor YouTube. We've actually been switching to Kick, where we can actually show the races. So I've been switching to kick.com/RazorSharpPicks. So make sure you give me a follow there. We're allowed to show all the races every day, all day. So it's a beautiful thing. One last shot before we head out. Shout out to all the Canadians. Happy Thanksgiving. And let's get that cash. See you tonight, Jimmy. Cheers to everybody.
There he is, our guy, Razor Sharp Picks. Your next guest is currently second overall out of 23 cappers here on Pub Sports Radio. He was last year's champion, 9-8 plus 7.9 units. Please welcome from Kingston, Ontario, Canada, also celebrating Thanksgiving, our friend Birdy Betts in the house. Birdy, what's good, man? How are you?
Happy Thanksgiving, Jimmy. I'm well. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, man. I'm pumped up. So pumped up. Had a wonderful, wonderful day of capping yesterday. And I know that doesn't mean that today will be a great day, but I'm so excited for the opportunity to cap with you guys all and then have all this action on all these games and see how they play out. I'm pumped up. I'm full of life. I'm pumped up.
It doesn't mean it's not going to be a great day either.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. No, I love that. No, I'm so excited. I'm just thankful and excited. Commanders, Ravens, M&T Bank Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland. We've set this one up, Birdy. Just need to hear how you're getting paid.
Okay, first off, I owe you and Troy an apology. I gave the wrong market analysis when I was talking out this game on Tuesday. I don't know. When I have to work my real job Mondays by 9 o'clock Tuesday, I'm pretty much baked, and I probably shouldn't be commenting that in that chat. But anyway, I do owe you an apology for that because that reasoning was completely wrong. But it doesn't mean I'm changing my side. So I'm on the Commanders here. So essentially, for me, I'd rather miss it a week late than get off it a week too early. It's kind of in that situation here with Washington. My model again says Washington's the play here. I have this. Crazily enough, a 5-point Washington spread, basically complete opposite of what most of those power ranking guys like Dinzik and Fezzik and all those guys, they have this at about 5.5 for the Ravens. Tough week this week. It's going to be an uncomfortable weekend for me. Normally, my model gives me a kind of a way to look, and then I build off that with situational plays, with matchups. It's a tough week to kind of tie all that together, so I'm kind of going to go with what my model's telling me this week. It's going to be very uncomfortable, but I'm happy here with the Commanders. Honestly, I still don't think anyone really knows what the Commanders are going to be yet. I think, like last week, that sentiment started, well, they're going to step up in class here and they're going to get punched in the mouth, and that could happen this weekend against a very good Ravens team. No doubt about that. This line was 7 on the look ahead last week. Both teams won. Both teams were favored. Opened up at 6.5, and I heard trap lines. I heard all sorts of different things. It kind of sounds like the line's working the way it should be working, based off how those guys that kind of run the market have their power rating. So, yeah, I'll take Washington.
On the Washington Commanders at +7, and you have a lot of good company. One of the cappers that you are rolling with is our friend Ron Crawford. The spreadsheet play today also on the Washington Commanders +6.5. Birdy getting the +7 available right now, -109 at Pinnacle. Next up for Birdy, Cardinals, Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, 52 Fahrenheit, rain, 8 miles per hour. The rain is supposed to stop before the end of the game, but do keep a close eye on that, especially if you're looking to move on things live. Take it away for us here, Birdy, Cardinals, Packers.
I just think this is too many points. I've been pretty vocal saying I don't believe in Green Bay like the market believes in Green Bay. I think this is just too many points here for an Arizona team that is capable on offense. I don't really have much more to say about that. The money's shaping up on Green Bay. The line's not moving. My model says I have some value on Arizona here, so I'm going to take Arizona plus the points.
Arizona plus 5.5 can get that for you minus 105 at bookmaker right now. Arizona plus 5.5 minus 105. Do you want a 6 to pay for a 6? Do you have interest in me finding that number?
No, that's okay. I'm comfortable with the 5.5. Like in my personal accounts, I have money lines too on Arizona, so I'll just keep the 5.5.
You are locked and loaded, my friend. Plus 5.5 minus 105. Next up for you, Colts Titans. For Colts backers, I believe that most of you received the good news that it is not Anthony Richardson at quarterback. It is Joe Flacco at quarterback, and Pittman is going to play, it looks like, after thinking he was going to be out all week long. Now, of course, issues on defense with DeForest Buckner, Kwity Paye out. But Kwity Paye and Kenny Moore, I guess, are back because Kwity Paye was questionable. And Kwity Paye's not on the injury report. So Kwity Paye must be back. I'm going to double check that. Then the Titans are a pretty healthy group other than Jamal Adams being hurt. We've already set this one up. Take it away for us here, Birdy, and I'll find out about Kwity.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take the Colts here. I just think this is probably the biggest coaching mismatch of the weekend. I mean, you're hearing a lot of Titans support based off of bye week, and I mean, I still can't forget what I've seen the first 4 weeks. Levis is going to have to prove to me that he can win as a favorite, and I'm not going to put my money on Levis as a favorite in the NFL until he can prove that he can do it for me. Colts hold if you're into trends, if Colts hold the win-loss and against the spread record against the Titans historically, it's probably a pretty big wide number actually. But at the end of the day, for me, my model says I have value on the Colts. I feel like there's a major coaching mismatch in this game, and I have the team that historically holds over the other. So I'm happily taking the Colts here.
Colts is expensive now for the 3 is minus 20.
I'll take the money line.
Take the money line. Wow. Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. I honestly, this is such a big coaching mismatch. It's not even close.
I love it. I will line shop for you on the Colts money line. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Now, you are moving on this as a side on the spread, and it's also part of a money line parlay. We're not going to talk about the second half of the money line parlay yet. We'll talk about that next. So let's talk about side, and again, the first half of the money line parlay. We already set this one up. Bengals, Giants, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Take it away, Birdy.
So I'm going to be on the Bengals here. So a lot of people probably be on the Bengals here, but oddly enough, the money looks kind of even in some of the spots I'm looking, or it's not as significant as I thought it would be. A little concerning that this line isn't jumping up. I figured it would, but I mean, how can you watch what the Bengals have done the last 5 weeks and what the Giants have done the last 3? I mean, what the Giants have done is impressive, but the Giants have got some injuries on defense now. The problem with the Giants is their front 7 is really good, but when you take out one of those pieces, the replacement level is just not there. And if you're reliant on one kind of position group and then that position group gets hurt, I just don't see a way at the end of the day the Giants can keep up on offense here. And I know people are going to say that the Bengals defense is bad, but they've also played the 2 best offenses in the NFL. And they went score for score, and they should have probably beat the Ravens last week. So I'm not uncomfortable that the Bengals are going to get their points here. I think they're going to get their points. And I just don't see a world where the Giants are going to be able to keep up. They've had some positive momentum. I mean, that was a big road win. That's great for them. They went into Seattle. No one thought they could win. And they went in, got that upset. Now they're coming home. And this is a major step up in class on off. Like, major. This is probably the best offense in the NFL. And I just don't think that the Giants will be able to keep up here.
You are locked here. We're going to get you the spread on the 3.5, and we're going to get you the best line on the money line parlay. So the Cincinnati Bengals money line parlay is tied to a spot in Lions Cowboys. Take it away for us. We've set this one up AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the Dallas support is just strictly power ranking. But I mean,
Okay. He was holding just to keep us in a. I thought he had my. Oh, there he's back in action. He's back.
Yeah.
Okay, we just had you stop there for a second. Take it away, Birdy.
both did. Sorry about that.
No.
So this Zimmer system is very linebacker centric, and now you take Kendricks out of that linebacking core, and really, if you look at the last two games, because Detroit's played in Dallas the last 2 years, and that game's kind of come down to the last minute. The last two seasons. And honestly, I think we have two teams kind of heading in different directions now. That used to be Dallas was ascending and Detroit was trying to catch up, but I think we're kind of going to be two ships passing in the night, if you will. So I'll take Detroit here. I expect this one to not be close. Like I know there's a lot of sharp people out there that are on Dallas just strictly because of their power rankings. And I mean, I've made a ton of picks this week based off mine, and I get it and I understand it. But I mean, it's a perfect storm. Detroit's offense looks like it's been kind of sputtering through the first 4 weeks, but they had an early bye. They had some injuries. They're fully healthy now. They're fully healthy on defense now. And I don't think it's unreasonable because you start seeing it with the Chiefs now. You see it with the 49ers, where the beginning of the year, it's just kind of let's get out, let's get moving, let's get everything kind of working together and get that snowball rolling a little bit. And I think the snowball starts this week for Detroit as they make their ascension here, hopefully to a Super Bowl.
I love it. Bengals money line, Lions money line plus 145 right now at Pinnacle. Bengals minus 3.5 and minus 104 for Birdy. Colts money line at plus 130. Arizona plus 5.5 at minus 105. Washington plus 7 at minus 109. Currently in second overall out of 23 cappers here on NFL Pub Hub, our friend Birdy bets. And his week 2, he went 4-3 plus 7.5 units. It's the best single week we've had on our show so far this year. Birdy, thank you for making time for us. Please support Birdy on X at Birdy_bets. Please support our guy. Birdy, thank you for rocking with us. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
I love this group. I'm probably going to be on the opposite side of a lot of folks, and that doesn't make me very comfortable, but let's get that money.
There he is. There he is. Birdy bets. We stay up north for this next guest. He is now our leader in NFL Pub Hub. He's joined us for 2 weeks. On week 2, he went 7-5 plus 3.5 units. On week 5, he went 6-3 plus 6.3 units. Those are the only two spots he's rocked with us. And that 6.3 unit score last week, the second best week we've had of anybody on NFL Pub Hub. Overall, 13-8 plus 9.8 units. Please welcome a capper known for the bombs that he drops. Big plus line spots. Our friend, Mr. Spenny, penny bombs to the telecast. Spenny, what's good, man? How are you?
How we doing, Jimmy? How we doing, chat today? Happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian brethren up here up north. So, happy Turkey Day over here.
Yeah, man. I had my first turkey sandwich already. I'm pumped up. Arizona Cardinals, Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Spenny, you've had 2 monster weeks on the program. Take it away.
Yeah, going to try and continue going here with the props again. This is my angles. This is what I like to do. What I like to take advantage of here. And last week we were on Jacobs. He got over just the regular rush yards. Didn't get the plus money spot. I'm going back to Jacobs again this week. Just another great spot here against a terrible Arizona rush D. They're giving up the 6th most fantasy points this year to running backs. I just don't trust Arizona's rush D at all. I think that we're going to see Jacobs running the ball probably 16, 17 plus times today. So I like Jacobs rush yards again here today. So over 67.5 rush yards at minus 110. And then I'm going to ladder him up. We'll do it twice here. So we're going to do 75 plus at plus 130. And we're going to do 100 plus at plus 375. Again, just a spot where I think that they're going to utilize using Jacobs as much as possible. They should have the lead most of the game. Just, run the clock, run the ball with Jacobs, and I think he can break a couple big ones here today.
You are locked and loaded. Jacobs over 67.5 rush at -110, 75 or more at +130, and 100 more at +375. Your next action is on Commanders, Ravens, M&T Bank Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland. We've set this one up, so take it away.
Yeah, this is another spot here where a receiver, I think, is going to have a good game. I think Zay Flowers has a good game here for the Ravens. Washington hasn't been great against top-end wide receivers. They've been giving up a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns to number one wide receivers here. St. Juice can't cover top-end wide receivers. He just can't. And so I think Zay Flowers is going to have a big game here today. Washington's given up the third most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. They've already given up 10 touchdowns to wide receivers over the first 5 weeks here. So give me Zay Flowers over 55.5 receiving yards at -110. We'll take a shot at the 75 plus at +195, and a touchdown for Zay Flowers at +150. Again, they're giving up a lot of touchdowns to the wide receiver spot. St. Juice can't cover these guys. I think that Flowers finds the end zone today and takes a shot with a couple of yards there.
You are locked and loaded there. Triple up on Zay Flowers props. We got Londo in the house. Popped his action there on the screen. Thank you for sharing all that with us, Londo. Ricky Levine, my guy. Another great performance by Darcy Kemper, my friend. Another nice performance. See how long that lasts. Lasting right now. 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Next spot up for our guy, Spenny, Penny Bombs. And we haven't talked about this game. Falcons, Panthers, Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. 79 Fahrenheit, sunny. 10-mile-per-hour winds. Troy Anderson, a linebacker for the Falcons, still out. And Nate Landman is questionable, the calf quad, and his importance goes up with Troy Anderson out. These Panthers are beat up. They're down both of their centers. They're down their starting right tackle, and you're asking the Red Rifle to handle everything. It's not easy. So Austin Corbett out. Also, Taylor Mott out. You have Tommy Tremble, their tight end, out. Their other center is Andrew Rame, out. Then we have Josie Jewell, a very important linebacker, out. I mean, we know that they're already in a terrible spot with defensive issues and injuries on that front seven, which was a state of strength when we started the year. And then we have Bijan Robinson right now and Darnell Mooney good to go. They were on the injury report this week, but they are good to go. Let's get into the line history on this one. This is sitting with Carolina +6 at home, +6 -107. They open up at 5.5, so we have a half-point move towards the Panthers. And then on the total, we have a 46 -109 to the under. This opened up at 48.5, so we're down 2.5 points. A real big move towards that under. And when we get to the cash flow for this Panthers spot, we have 81% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the Falcons, a half-point move towards them, and 68% of the tickets, 71% cash on the over, and this is moving towards the under. And I do have interest in the under, but it hasn't moved past that important spot at 47. Take it away for us here, my man Spenny, Falcons, Panthers.
Yeah, this should be an interesting kind of game. Obviously, Carolina's got some people out. We've got some issues with both sides of the ball here. I still think that Carolina could be a spot in this game, but I think that Atlanta should control the clock, should control the points most in this game. And again, just another spot where it's a terrible rush defense, and so they're giving up the most fantasy points to running backs this year. It's a great spot. I know that Bijan's coming off an injury here, but I think it's just a great spot where Bijan's going to open up and take advantage of this terrible rush D and have a couple of big runs, have a big game here. He hasn't had a big game yet this year, really, and I think this is a spot where Bijan goes off. So Bijan over 65.5 rush yards at -115. We'll do the 75 plus at +140 and 100 plus at +400. Again, I think this is a great spot where he can, break a couple of really big ones, have a really big game here against this terrible Carolina rush team.
And we watched spending cash at +300 on the 100 plus last week on Javonte Williams rushing receiving. I'm interested in this under more and more as I sit with it. Now I know we've gone through this important point at number at 47, gone through the 47 down to 46, but take the Falcons out of the dome. I don't know how the Panthers are going to be able to, even though Chuba's playing out of his mind right now the last couple of weeks, but how is he going to do that without two centers and a right tackle? I mean,
it'll be tough. It'll be tough for them to move the ball for sure. I could definitely see him being in a lower scoring game, one of those divisional kind of games, and just grind it out and just run the clock and get home, get out of there.
So do I. That looks like it'll be my first edition here on the show. Let's roll on to the Flipper. Happy birthday to your mom, my friend. Flipper 13, OG low bagger. Said I must go celebrate mom's birthday. Enjoy it, man. Flip in Las Vegas, Nevada, celebrating his mom's birthday. Final spot on the board for Spenny before our guy Marley Betts joins us is Lions, Cowboys, and Spenny. We've already set this one up, so take it away.
Yeah, another spot here where, again, I'm just kind of going against, bad rush defenses to start the year so far. And again, Dallas's 23rd rush defense here, giving up the 5th most points to running backs this year in fantasy. I just think that with their injuries, the guys that are missing on defense, with the guys that Detroit has back, with the old line that they've already have and what they've been established in the run game this year, I think that it's just another game where they should be able to take advantage of the run game here as well for David Montgomery. So I like David Montgomery over 56.5 rush yards -110 and the 75 plus at 215. Again, just to especially if Detroit's up late in the game, they don't usually use Gibbs as much. They like to use the the bigger back, kind of the grinder kind of back in Monty there, especially when it comes late in the game. So if they're up and they're going to be running the clock down, I think David Montgomery is going to be the guy that's going to be getting those touches late and getting those rush yards, and I think that he could still have a big game. Him and Gibbs have basically been 1A and 1B. They've been splitting it between each other there, so I think both of them could have a big game here. But I like Montgomery just because of the fact that he usually gets the touches late in the game, especially if they're up. So Monty over 56.5 and 75 plus at 215.
You are locked and loaded over 56.5. Was that -110 on the 56?
-110, yeah.
-110 and 75 or more at +210. Then Bijan Robinson over 65.5 rushing yards, 75 plus at +140 and 100 plus at +400. Zay Flowers over 55.5 receiving yards, 75 or more at +195 and anytime touchdown at +150. Then Josh Jacobs over 67.5 rush yards, 75 or more at +130 and 100 or more +375. Our current leader in NFL PubPub, he was our rookie of the year in season 2 when he came second and almost won it in the Super Bowl. I mean, I thought it looked like he was going to win it. Came second overall to Bobano, and now in first out of 23 cappers. Spenny, you've been awesome on this show, and it means so much to us. So thank you from all of us at Pub Sports Radio for destroying. Keep getting that cash, and it's almost Breeders' Cup for us, man. We're right there. We're a couple weeks away.
We're almost there.
Please support our guy, Spenny Penny Bombs on X. I'm going to pop his Twitter handle here in the chat. Spenny, any last words for the Capper Sport and show?
No, just appreciate having me on every, as much as possible. Do all these shows. Love doing this kind of stuff. Love seeing all the chat and love the growth. And just appreciate getting the invite every single week. And it's nice to be, on top of the leaderboard. I'm going to try and keep that spot all year long.
I love it. There he is, Mr. Bombs himself. We move on to our next guest, and my God, is he consistent. He came on to our live stream after week 4. That was the last time we saw him because it was his birthday last week, and he was lamenting what a terrible week he'd had on our show because he went 1-2 down 1.14 units. And that's as bad as he's been over. He actually was like minus 1.25 units over. He had 12 weeks of performances last season. This is his 3rd week. So in 15 weeks, he's never been worse than 1.25 units down. I mean, it's just uncanny. He was 2nd overall last season. He's 3rd overall this season. Star of the Brothers in Bets YouTube channel. And, we use the word revelation. I mean, watching this guy work week in and week out. And you guys have the opportunity to do it for free on the Brothers in Bets YouTube channel and on the Raw Word podcast with our guy LJ from H-Town, who's 4th overall out of 23 cappers. I mean, these guys are just delivering week in and week out. Please welcome our friend Marley Betts to the show. Marley, what's good, man? How are you?
What's good? Happy Turkey Day up there, Jimmy.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Can you move the mic a little bit closer to you so we can get the full?
I'm sure. My bad. There we go.
No, it's all good. We just know that you got very nice equipment, and we want to use it heavily. Marley, let's get right to work. You start with Texans Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. 53 Fahrenheit, showers, 4 miles per hour. Now, is it going to rain or not? We had our guy Nasty Nate tell us that it looks like it's going to rain at 5 p.m. We're not entirely sure what the weather's going to look like here for our guy Marley. Marley, take it away. We've set this one up already. We know that Ramondre Stevenson is out. Everybody else listed as questionable for the Patriots is expected to be good to go. And Joe Mixon is expected to play at this point. Ricky Levine saying Houston 0-7, including playoffs in New England. Things are a little different when your quarterback is CJ Stroud. But I can't wait to hear this breakdown. Take it away. Texans, Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Take it away, Marley.
Yeah. A lot of that shit that record that Buddy just spit out, that's Brady era before CJ and all that. He throw those numbers out the books. But anyway, I heard Razor earlier break this game down, and I feel the same way Razor do. I'm on the under here, 37.5. Like you said, we might get some bad weather. We're gonna hope it does rain, but the Texans on the road, we just don't take the same offense or game plan on the road that we do at home. We're not as good. And Nico Collins is huge. If anybody watched the game last week, they saw what happens to the offense when he went out with a hamstring. You still got D, still got Tank Dell, but what Nico brings to the team is the connection with him and CJ going back to last year is crazy. So I'm going to stay off the side. I think it's too many points. I do think Texans win. I think New England covers, but I think this total goes under. And we didn't even talk about Drake May being a rookie out there getting his first action. Bad weather game against a pretty decent Texans defense. I think he'll struggle. If anything, he'll struggle early. If you're looking to play the Texans, I'll take him first half. But as for me, I'm going to take the under.
You got it. Under 38.5, minus 110 available right now at Pinnacle. And you gave an added game. It was my fault. I meant to start with your added game, so we're going to go to that now. Thank you, Jose. That was my fault. The added game is Tampa Bay Buccaneers at New Orleans Saints with Spencer Rattler at quarterback. Take it away for us. We've already set this one up. Can't wait to hear your action.
Yeah. I mean, this is just a fade of Spencer Rattler and a rookie or a quarterback seeing his first action in a divisional game against a defense that's starting to get healthy. And in the Saints defense, we saw the last couple of weeks that people can do kind of whatever they want to do. I don't want to say whatever they want to do, but they can definitely move the ball and score. And Baker, I think I said this last time we talked about Baker. Man, Baker been lights out, man. 11 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, 64 QBR. Like, can't ask him to do too much. So I'm not a believer in Spencer Rattler. That kid, he has talent, right? But he turns the ball over. He threw over 30 interceptions in his collegiate career. So it's not that we sleeping on Noya. I'm just not a fan of Spencer Rattler or the offense. They haven't been able to score since the Dallas game. If you look at their totals, and it's not like who they play, Philly, Atlanta, and KC. Or KC, KC's defense is pretty good, but I like the Saints here. This is damn near a double-up spot. Give me the Saints minus 3.5. I just don't think that quarterback is going to be able to do.
And you mean much. Bucks minus 3.5?
Bucks. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bucks
no, all good. Bucks minus 3.5. So you're going to get the minus 3.5 at plus money, at plus 103, which means that the Bucks minus 3 is. Not it's actually moved from plus 4. So you can get the minus 3 at minus 117, or do you want the minus 3.5 at plus 103?
Give me the 3. I hate that half point.
You got it. Minus 3 at minus 117. Minus 3, minus 117 for our guy Marley. Here we go. Next up for Marley, Commanders Ravens. Can't wait to hear your take on this one. We have heard Birdy backing the Commanders. We also opened up this show with Bobano on the Commanders team total over 21.5 and the over 51. It's interesting because this line looked like it was opening up their arms to Commanders money, and it moved to 7. And then I thought, God, I was saying Commanders got to be such a public dog, and they're not. The Commanders are not a public dog like that I thought was going to have 29% of the tickets, 25% of the cash. So this is interesting. Take it away for us, Marley, my man.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I thought it would be a huge public dog myself. That's kind of weird that it's not. And I almost went with it, but man, I don't know if I was on the show when I said this. I'm getting those same feelings I got when the Bills went into Baltimore to play the Ravens. Everybody was high on the Bills. Josh Allen was back and all the other guy, and they went in there and stunk it up. I'm not saying the Commanders are going to stink it up, and I think Jaden Daniels is for real, but they haven't played anybody, Jimmy. I mean, if you look at their schedule, this is like the first test technically that he's had to go up against. My problem with taking the 6.5 is they're not going to be able to run the ball, and they've yet to face an opponent to take away the run. So this game is going to be a lot of Jaden Daniels. We know you're throwing the ball. Now, the Ravens defense is stopping the run, best run stop defense in the league right now, but the pass is terrible. And I completely agree with Bobano. How can you not take the over? And I'm definitely on Washington's team total over because I think they will find success. They're averaging 30 points a game, top 5 offense in the NFL, 2-1 to the over on the road, ATS, 3-0 to the over. I'm sorry, 2-1 ATS on the road. Yes, and their over is 3-0. And also the 5 of the last 6 have went over, and 6 of the last 7 have went over. And we've seen Baltimore, even if they're up big, we've seen them in the fourth quarter turn around and let big leads go repeatedly and sometimes lose a game. So I'll take my chances. I like the over here. I think that's good team total. And I also like the over in the game. I think I just don't know I think it's like a can you keep up with me type game. And I don't know how if the Commanders can keep up the whole game. But as far as the side goes, but I like this game to definitely go over.
So are you also going to make a team total over official?
Yes, both.
Okay. Let's lock this in. So let's see if there's a better total right now. I imagine there's not here. We'll go to Pinnacle. So we can get you the over 51 flat at minus 109. So we'll start there. And you want the Ravens team total over?
No, the Commanders team total.
Okay. Commanders team total over. My bad. The Commanders team total over. We'll compare it to what we got because that Bobano also moved on the team total over. But he got it at minus 150, the over 21.5. Let's see what we can offer you. Yeah, which you can if you want, but that's costly here. And let's see what we can give you on the Commanders team total here at Pinnacle. They're offering you unless this has gone down. Wow. Jesus, this over 21.5 is minus 111.
Oh, yeah. Give me that. I don't know what happened with Bobano.
Shit. I'm going to message, but did I hear that wrong? Was that I'm going to message him over 21.5 at minus 111. Maybe he said maybe it was minus 115. I had minus 150. I'll double check with Bobano on that one. Over 21.5 minus 111 available right now at Pinnacle. Next up for you, my man, Steelers Raiders. We've set this one up already. Talked about the injuries to both squads because there's quite a few of them. To go over them again, of course, Alex Highsmith out. His replacement, I should say, Nick Herbig is also out. Damontae Casey, their safety, is out. Michael Pruitt, knee injury, out. And Cordell Patterson out. DeMarvin Leal out as well. For the Raiders, Devontae Adams out. And then they're dealing with a few players who are questionable that are all expected to play. Of course, Max Crosby, not on the injury report, expected to play. Take it away for us here, Marley. Steelers, Raiders.
Yeah, we need Max Crosby to play in there because we're on the under here. I think Razor broke this game down when I was watching it earlier. He set the same way. He listed all the stats. 1-4 to the under. Steelers are 1-2 to the under on the road. Defense only allowing 13 points. 4 or 5 of the last games went under, and 9 of the last 13 games have went under. And you have O'Connell starting over Minshew, which I think is a downgrade. Not too high on Minshew neither. No Devontae Adams, no Zaire White, he's out. I think the tight end Meyer, the rookie tight end Meyer is out. Like, who is he going to throw the ball to? Who's running the ball? Just everything points to the under here. And that's just a typical Pittsburgh Steeler game anyway. So we're on the under. Going to keep riding. It's going to keep paying.
You got it. Let's get you the best line available on that under right now. Steelers, Raiders, under 36.5 at minus 109. Under 36.5 at minus 109. That 37, which I know is a nice, important point, is costly. No, not that costly. Minus 118.
I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take it. It's not that bad.
Under 37 at minus 118. We move on to your final spot on the board. Detroit Lions, Dallas Cowboys. Take it away, Marley.
Yeah, man. I'm, the other team up the street, as I call them, because I'm from Houston, Jimmy. They're not good, Jimmy. They're not good. They're not good. All right, and they don't have any weapons on the outside. I think we get their scores mixed up because they do a lot of backdoor in the fourth quarter down. Dak's throwing the ball all over the place. Yeah, they beat a Pittsburgh team whose offense is basically almost inept, who played to the under. They should have lost that game. Dak threw 2 interceptions. It wasn't a good game by no means. I don't think they can stop the run. Detroit has one of the best run games in the NFL. I think they're the sixth ranked right now with Montgomery and Gibbs. I heard Spenny talking about Montgomery touchdown props earlier. I'm gonna follow that because I agree. And then we're in the dome. Golf's record in the dome is like 26-9 or something like that. And I heard you mention this earlier, Jimmy, and this is the key factor right here. The Cowboys are just banged up on defense. There's no way they can sustain this shit. No Michael Parsons, no DeMarcus Lawrence. Eric Kendricks is out. There's another linebacker I think that's questionable. The secondary, this is their first time, I think, having the secondary together. But Goff, when he has a clean pocket, has shown us time and time again, he will shred any secondary. I don't think they'll be able to stop the run. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Detroit coming off a bye?
They are. They are.
Coming off a bye, you got an extra week to prepare. So, with all that shit being said, I'm still gonna just take the first half, Jimmy, because Dallas has this tendency to fall behind late, put up a fight at the end of the game, and I don't want no stupid sorry backdoor cover bullshit to be happening to me. So, and as we seen at home, Saints went in there, jumped on them early, down in the first half. The Ravens came in there, jumped on them early, down in the first half in their last 2 games. I expect Detroit coming off a bye to come in there, jump on them early, get them out the game, force the Cowboys to pass because they can't run the ball, and we'll hold our breath till the end of the game. But I like the first half.
You are locked and loaded. Lions first half -2.5 at -110. He's on the under 37 at -118 in Pittsburgh, Las Vegas Raiders. He's on the over 51 at -109 in Commanders, Ravens. He's on the Commanders team total over 21.5 at -111. He's on the under 38.5 -110 in Houston, New England, and he's on the Bucks -3 at -117. And I've been saying it over and over and over again on these shows. Just watch this guy work. Watch his consistency. It's
gotta get back on track this week, man.
Look, I'm very, very impressed. That's why I try to get you on every single week here, Marley. Star of the Brothers and Bets YouTube channel. Please go support Brothers and Bets, and also the Raw Words podcast with LJ, who's right behind him in 4th out of 23. Both cappers just delivering week in and week out for us. And I'm going to pop his Twitter handle here in the chat. Please support our guy, Marley _Bets. Who comes on here and just continues to deliver. 15 shows he's done with us, and the worst he's ever done is 1 and 2. I mean, that's just unprecedented. Marley Bets here is the Twitter handle. I'm going to pop this in right now. And Marley, thank you, my man. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Y'all already know what it is, man. Let's beat Vegas.
There it is, our guy, Marley Bets. We go from our guy, Marley in Houston. We head across the continent to South Jersey in the house, a fixture on our programs here on Pub Sports Radio Star, the Locker Room Podcast, our hit podcast in UFC, MMA, Locker Room Podcast, and, of course, all things basketball and football all over this channel. He'll be rocking with us on the live stream tonight. He's been crushing those live streams. Please welcome to South Jersey, Billy Brisbane, to the show. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
Doing good. Ready to go today. Nice little start off to the day here. The Jaguars just suck.
Yeah, that is the case here. But let's get to work. Brizzy, Commanders, Ravens. We've set this one up. Take it away.
Yeah, I got Derrick Henry 80+ rushing yards and anytime touchdown here as a same game parlay at -114. He's cleared this number in each of his last 3 games, averaging 147 yards per game during the stretch. The Commanders ranked 31st in rushing yards allowed this season, giving up 5.3 yards per carry to the running back position, which is dead last in the NFL. Teams facing Washington have gotten 8% more carries than their season average. In any game that we're getting more Derrick Henry touches is a game that I want to have parts of. And I kind of my hot take for this game is I think this game kind of goes way under, and I think the Ravens are going to run the shit out of the football. I have Derrick Henry projected as the highest rushing running back of the slate today.
Henry 80 plus rushing yards and anytime touchdown at -114 for Brizzy. Brizzy, next up for you, Buccaneers Saints. Take it away.
Yeah, this is I end up adding something into this one, but we'll start off with the Bucky Irving anytime touchdown +100 at FanDuel. You could odd shop all these props and probably get better odds, but just the way today's going, I'm just betting how I'm betting. I like the matchup, short week versus New Orleans. They look like they were absolutely struggling containing Kareem Hunt in that primetime game that we're watching. Irving's has received 100% of the carries inside the 20-yard line over the last 2 weeks. Only 2 running backs have had more red zone carries over that stretch, more than the rookie across the league. So I like Bucky Irving anytime touchdown here at +100. And this was a late ad for me. Spencer Rattler over 15.5 rushing yards. When I was running my projections for the week, his rushing yard prop is just too low at 15.5. I think he gets probably like 25, 30. In the preseason games this year, I believe he had like 3 rushing touchdowns, like 30 something rushing yards. Long story short, if you haven't seen Spencer Rattler, then you probably don't watch the Netflix show called QB1 Beyond the Lights. He was like one of the star characters of that TV show. He's finally getting the start here for the Saints. He was not active in that primetime game that we watched because he was the backup is basically not playing. They're starting Rattler, and there's nobody else back there. Rattler's about to run today. I think his rushing yard prop is way too low. If you wanted to do the 25+ rushing yard milestone at plus money, I wouldn't mind that either.
And you're over 15.5 rush yards -110?
Yes, sir. Bet 365.
Locked and loaded. Rattler over 15.5 rush yards -110. I like that look. And Bucky Irving anytime touchdown at +100. Next up for Brizzy, Browns, Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field. We've set this one up. Take it away.
Yeah, I like the Eagles here in the first half, -5.5, -110. The Browns are 1-4 ATS in the first half this season, with the biggest margin of this is crazy. They're getting outscored 75-16 in the first half of their first 4 games this season. The Eagles have yet to win a first half this year, going 0-4 ATS in the first half, having yet to score in the first quarter in for Philadelphia, which is pretty wild. I think the bye week is exactly what Philly needed. With the Browns back, A.J. Brown is back. I think the scripted plays are going to look good early here. Watson's averaging 3.8 yards per play this season, which is dead last in the NFL. The next team lowest is 4.3. I think the Eagles come out hot in this one. I like the Eagles first half here, -5.5. It was a great spot that we're cashing for like the first half of the year last year. And it just hasn't really been the spot this year due to just weird travelness. Like we played in Brazil week 1, then the Monday night game. Then we played in Tampa, 90-degree weather with no receivers and an offensive line. Bye week is what we needed. I like this Eagles first half spot a lot. One of my favorite spots of the card.
You got it. Eagles first half -5.5, -110. Next up, Lions, Cowboys, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. You've just seen a line of cappers that are on the Detroit Lions here. We've heard cappers in the chat that are back in the Cowboys +3.5, but not cappers on the channel. What's your plan here, Brizzy? Take it away.
Yeah, I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel this week. I'm just trying to cash on some spots that I think that are really good value, and it kind of correlates with the way my daily fantasy lines have looked. And I really like CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown here at -120, one of my favorite props of the day. Detroit has allowed the most receiving yards per game to wide receivers this season and allowed the 3rd most last season. Lamb went off against this team last year for 227 yards and a touchdown. And last year's matchup against the Lions, Brandon Cooks is going to be out again. I think that's going to help out Lamb's target volume even more. That was just a shitty game script for him in that Sunday night game against Pittsburgh Steelers. One of the things I've been cashing this year a lot on is betting the player that didn't score in the primetime game in the 1:00 slate on Sunday, and it's been cash cow for me. I like CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown here.
You got it locked and loaded. Your final spot on the board, the Sunday Nighter, which we hope that you will be rocking with us tonight. Cincinnati Bengals, New York Giants at MetLife. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, I like T. Higgins anytime touchdown here at plus 150. Chase and Higgins have basically just dominated the targets in the last couple of weeks. Higgins is coming off a 14-target game with 2 touchdowns. He's been targeted in the red zone 5 times in 3 games played. New York Giants have given up 7 passing touchdowns this season, with 6 of them being to the wide receiver position. They usually guard wide receiver 1s pretty well, but wide receiver 2s and 3s get open. I like T. Higgins anytime touchdown a lot tonight.
You are locked in. T. Higgins, anytime touchdown at plus 150. CeeDee Lamb, anytime touchdown at minus 120. Eagles, first half, minus 5.5, minus 110. Bucky Irving, anytime touchdown, plus 100. And Spencer Rattler, over 50.5 rush yards at minus 110. Derrick Henry, 80 or more rush yards and anytime touchdown, together SGP at minus 114. For our guy, Billy Brisbane, star of the Locker Room podcast here, our hit UFC show and all things basketball as well. Brizzy, thank you so much for rocking with us. Please support our guy, Brizzy, at getting_bills_. Please, Brizzy, last words, my man, for Capper supporting the show.
Yeah, shouts to everybody in the chat. Let's get some cash today. We got a big slate today. We got NFL popping off, and then we got the night show tonight. So make sure you tune into the night show, a little NHL, WNBA. It's going to be a great time with the boys.
I love it. There's our guy, Brizzy, in the house. Our next guest is making his NFL Pub Hub debut, and I'm so excited to have him on. He should have already been rocking with us. A fixture in our chat for years, an incredible capper. Hopefully you'll see a lot more of him here on our show, making his debut. Our guy, Bet with JT, Talk Sports with JT. JT in the house. JT, how are you, my man?
All right. How you doing, Jimmy? Thank you for having me on, man.
It's about time you rock with us, my friend. It's about time everybody in the chat sees the skill set that you have. Now, I know that they have working with you in the chat, but here on camera, take it away. You start with Colts, Titans, and this is a look and an angle from our guy, JT, that has not been used yet. Not being used here on the show. So take a listen, my friends. Here is JT on Colts Titans.
Yeah, so my picks today are basically player props. I went with Tony Pollard over here just to make it short and simple. I took over his 63.5 rushing yards when he was with Dallas in 2022, I believe. I know that's a few years ago, but he had 12 carries for 91 yards with 2 TDs, and also Colts rushing yards allowed versus running backs. They ranked 28th, so hopefully he can get to that number. Titans rush offense ranked 18th as well. They're going against the 31 ranked rushing defense of the Indianapolis Colts. So obviously the Colts is definitely weak in that rushing aspect on the defensive side. The Colts also away, they're giving up about 194 rushing yards, away. So again, they're giving up yards and yards and yards. Let's see here. Tennessee, they run the ball 45% of the time. And Pollard had 88 yards versus Miami last game, which I think they demolished Miami as well. So I like the over 63.5. He looks pretty consistent on that. So I'm going to run with that.
You are locked in, Pollard.
And I got it at 115 as well. It's minus 115.
Yeah, thank you, my man. Over 63.5 rush yards at minus 115 here for Tony Pollard. Let's roll into the next spot on the board for JT. That is Buccaneers Saints Caesars Superdome. I did say that first spot is a different angle than we've had on the show. All of JT's bets are angles that we have not heard on this show today. So take it away for us, Buccaneers Saints.
Buccaneers Saints. I went with Chris Godwin. Again, I'm going to just give you what I'm on. Over 66.5 receiving yards at minus 117 is what I took last season against the Saints. He had 81 yards and also 114 yards. His last 5 was 64, 69, 53, 117, and 83 yards. The 64 yards and 117 yards he had was away. The Saints defense versus wide receivers ranked 25th. They're giving up about 211 yards at home. Or the Saints are giving up 211 yards at home, passing yards, and they rank 200, and they're giving away 251 overall. They gave up 331 against Mahomes. Now, I'm not saying, Mayfield is Mahomes, but they did give up some passing yards last game. And with Will Harris, I believe the Saints DB, he is hurt. He won't be playing this game. So I don't know how the secondary is going to shift around with their DBs and safeties of that matter. So, yeah, give me Chris Godwin over 66.5 yards or receiving yards at minus 117.
You got it. And yes, Will Harris, defensive back out. They have huge injuries in their linebacking core. I get it. And this could be, if Godwin can go, play the deep ball and stretch defenses, but he can also pick up the 7 to 8 yard passes, which we think will be available throughout the game. Godwin over 66.5 yards receiving at -117. Final spot on the board here for JT. Lions, Cowboys, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Take it away, my man.
Now here, I hope me and my guy Spenny both hit on this game. I know he took Montgomery. Montgomery is starting. Gibbs is following up behind him, but they do share the ball. They had the rush attempts last 5 games is 28, 43, 27, 31, and 29. And the shares they had, Gibbs had was 14, 16, 13, 11, and 12. All right. Head to head, Gibbs had 43 rush yards last year with 15 attempts. Right. Obviously, it's not hitting over the number that I took. But Dallas is ranked 17th in rush defense versus the running back. They also ranked 24th overall in rush D. Dallas has given away about 212 rushing yards at home. Their last game, they gave up 134 yards. Detroit runs the ball 49% of the time. So again, like I said, I'm liking the over 60.5 at 117. I believe right now it's at 59.5 at 110 on the over. So yeah, give me that.
59.5 at -110 available right now for Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going to pop our guy JT's Twitter handle here in the chat. Please support our guy. I promise you will see more of him on our channel. We should have had him on rocking with us here on NFL Pub Hub and other shows long ago. JT, where can other cappers see your action?
Man, like you just put my Twitter handle up there. I give out my action out every day, just post it up. So just follow me on X, Bet with JT.
You're going to be rocking with us a lot more. Thank you for making time with us, my guy. It means a ton to us. Go get that cash, making his NFL Pub Hub debut. Our guy, JT, in the house. That was great. I love these debuts, man. We're growing. And love seeing these cappers that we rock with in the chat so often. Finally see them here on camera. It's dope, man. Saturated, we believe Pittman is in. We haven't had confirmation. On that. Let's bring on our next guest, our final spot here on the show, headlining our Sunday, October 13th NFL Pub Hub, a fixture on our channel, one of the stars of Pub Sports Radio, also unicorn capper of all sports. And we're so excited to have him finally make his season debut here on NFL Pub Hub. And I've been working on this intro. Kind of got to get Razor steps the game up so much. I got to get my game up. Please welcome your next guest coming to us from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm making the motherfucking Mack Daddy in the house. C-Mac, how are you?
Beautiful. You're nailing this shit.
I got to step it up, man. Razor, I can't let Razor just have the best C-Mac intro. Me just sit on the sidelines. Got to step my game up. C-Mac, finally we have you on screen, my man.
You dragged me on. You dragged me to get on here on a Sunday. I'm here.
I've been pushing it. The last few weeks. We need you. Let's get right to work. C-Mac, of course, the star of the Hitting the Books YouTube channel. Please support that channel alongside Bobano every Monday. He's on Betting with Bouquet every Wednesday here on Pub Sports Radio. Rocking with us right now. Let's get to work. C-Mac, Buccaneers, New Orleans, St. Caesar Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana. We've already set this game up, so we just need to hear how you're getting paid.
Yeah, I don't love because I'm waiting on this one. The props, obviously I've locked in. I see this game, Bucks coming off 10 days off, obviously, off the game where they gave up a ton of yards in that last one. On the flip side, Saints are banged up. We got Rattler here starting for them. I'm on this under. I know you've gone over this game a ton. Last 5 meetings between these two teams, division game, Jimmy, under. Haven't even sniffed this total. Bulls in division playing as well. 13, 8 of them have gone under. I'm on the under here. I really want the 43, but give me the 42.5. The Saints team total under was a look for me as well, but give me the 42.5 here. That's the best you have. Under.
I can get you the under 42 at -108. I am sitting here on this fucking under 41.5. I was right with you. I just can't understand why the market wasn't. Under 42.5 -108 for.
I think it was just too low. I mean, and the recency a little bit of these defenses with the injuries and a little bit how they've been playing. But if you look through it, I think they played well at times, these two teams and their defense. And we'll see today. I got to bank on everything with, kind of the cap and stick with it here.
Well, I'm right with you. I just would much rather have the number that you got. Did you want to see what it would cost for the 43? Or do we just why don't we just for
not if it's later than if it's 115, I'll take it. If not, I don't want it.
Let's just take a quick look at this. The under 43
shout out to the chat.
minus 118. Minus 118.
I'll take it. All right, give it to me. I got plus money here on these props.
Under 43 at minus 118 could be a key number. We roll on to the next spot on the board. Commanders, Ravens, M&T Bank Stadium. Take it away.
What was it, Jimmy? What did you say?
Commanders, Ravens, M&T Bank
Stadium. Okay, you're still on. Beautiful. Oh, this one is the classic. And you were just hitting on it, Jimmy, who were you on with Marley, that, this isn't kind of a public dog, and everything I've seen all week, I don't think it is too. And I have to stick to my guns in this one and stay with the Commanders. I just have to do it. And the reason why, if you like the Ravens too, take them early. This has been one of the best first half teams, and I've been on plenty of them the last 3 years that have cashed first half. Full game, they just haven't got it done. Lamar Jackson's been excellent against the NFC, not against the number, but straight up 20-1. But as a favorite of 3 or more, Jimmy, 7-18 against the number. I don't buy it. I just love the offense of the Commanders, and that gets me right to a prop in this game. I love Scary Terry. And the Ravens, their pass defense is almost dead last or second to last, giving up 285. But they've played the Bills, the Cowboys, the Chiefs. And they've played some of the best quarterbacks and teams in the league. I don't think they're as bad as they are, but I still don't think they're great. And I like Scary Terry, but I'm going to go to where everyone's cashed against this team all year, against the Ravens, and that's Zach Ertz here. Over 28.5 receiving yards. They play that deep 2, even the 3. I think he's going to get plenty underneath here. Over 28.5, minus 110 receiving yards. I'll have a little bit on his touchdown. He has no touchdown this year, too. It's like plus. I'm going to find the best number, but I'll have a little bit on his touchdown. It's like right around 450 range.
And do we want that to be official here, the touchdown prop as well?
Yeah, let me find the best number here, and then maybe I'll add it. Yeah.
And so I got a little ahead of myself. So is Commanders +7 at minus 104 on your card here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Commanders +7 at minus 104. Zach Ertz over 28.5 receiving yards at minus 110, and an anytime touchdown here for Ertz. C-Mac's going to look for the best line, but if anybody else in the chat right now could find us a great line on the anytime touchdown for Zach Ertz, that would be very helpful. Next spot here, C-Mac, second to last on the card here for us on NFL Pub for Sunday, October 13th. Steelers, Raiders at Legion Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Take it away for us.
We'll get to one here, too, at the end. I'm going to add because the number's gone in my favor here. We'll touch on it at the very end, though, real quick. This one's quick, where I want this guy. As I was going through today, I always love for plus money, especially in touchdown props. And I'll do a ton of them, but I was trying to find value. I think Dobbins was a decent price, right around 115. This guy doesn't have a touchdown. Raiders, not the best team against the run. The bottom third, they're 22nd. They're giving up 130 yards a game. And this guy just hasn't been great. Najee Harris, but when I got plus 130, a guy who's had 8 touchdowns last year, I'm not going to mess with his yards. I think he gets in the end zone against this bad Raiders defense. Najee Harris, anytime touchdown, plus 130.
Makes sense. I mean, we have backups all banged up and hurt, and Cordell Patterson out, and it doesn't matter.
This is the game, I think.
But they got to keep going to him. Even if he doesn't succeed, that's the situation. Like, even if he struggles off the start, they got to keep going to him. Najee Harris, anytime touchdown at plus 130. Last spot on the board here for you, C-Mac. Lions, Cowboys at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Take it away.
This first, we'll get to the numbers play because there's two plays for me here. I didn't think it'd go to 3.5 because I do like the Lions. I did, but once I got to the 3 and a hook, I'm taking the Cowboys in this game. We'll talk about last year's game, the 20-19, and all the back. I mean, there's a lot of blood. They're off the bye. Best offensive line. They're going to run it down the Cowboys' throat. And the Cowboys can't run it. in their way. So they're going to be throwing from behind. I'll get to my next prop in this one. But when I got the hook here, I have to take the Cowboys. Lions have been better against the number at home, even a little bit on the road. But right here at Dallas, when I got this hook, I got to take the Cowboys.
Plus,
give me the best number you got.
The best one we have is minus 115. I don't know if that can be beaten anywhere. Let us know if you can.
I think I got a 110 at South Point.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, locked and loaded.
Right here.
Plus 3.5, minus 110. And so you have another spot on this game.
Yeah, that leads me to where they're going to be at, I think. And I think if you like the Lions too, maybe get to them early. Just something tells me, as banged up as they are, the Cowboys, they're going to stay in this, and they're going to throw it. This is I don't do this a ton, but I'm going to do it here. He doesn't have a 100-yard game. Billy just talked about it. It's CeeDee Lamb here. I got this earlier yesterday. I got 82.5, minus 105. He had 227 in last year's game, I believe, or 223. He's going to eat. One problem for the Lions, Billy hit on, is their secondary. They've given up a ton of yards in games. Now, they've been up in some of those, but that's still where I think you can get them. Where they've been better is against the run. So I think CeeDee Lamb, this is the game for him to go off. So 82.5, minus 105 I got. But give me laddered up, 100 plus 135. That's the best number I have right here. So just give me that. He gets over 100 today, CeeDee Lamb.
You got it, 100 plus at plus 135. And we have got BJ's action. Thank you for sharing that with us, BJ. We have added spot for you. Which game are we moving to?
Yeah, I as long as do you have this here at Heritage, this isn't stale, real quick. Or wow, is this even at DraftKings? This number's going up. Wow, this scares me a little bit. 39.5 even now at DraftKings. I want this under in Houston, New England. New England's team total under's been money for me, Jimmy, all year long. And again, I almost went to 14.5, which is like even money plus 105. I kind of blocked it maybe if they just get over that, but give me the 39.5. If you see that here, I see it in a couple spots. Give me that now. I like this under a lot. I just wanted, when I saw this, I don't mind the move. Give it to me.
This is climbing so quickly. Under 39.5 at minus 110.
It's all Drake May. This is why I was a little bit stopped, because it's like you're betting on something you haven't seen. This is his first game. We've seen what rookie quarterbacks at home do consistently. So that's why I was a little bit held off when the number was a little bit lower. But I'll grab it here because that's where I was all over, kind of all week, but I was waiting on it. I'll take it here.
Locked in here. Rod Zawacki, Nilo, happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well.
Oh, yeah. It's Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Hell yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, my Canadian guys. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Spenny.
It's great because in American Thanksgiving, I don't have to. I just do all the live streams all day because I don't have.
Just get tossed.
Yeah, but it's not my Thanksgiving. It's perfect. Works out perfectly.
Drink all day.
C-Mac on Houston, New England under 39.5. CeeDee Lamb over 82.5 receiving yards and 100 plus a plus 135, and Cowboys plus 3.5 minus 110. Najee Harris anytime touchdown plus 130. Zach Ertz over 28.5 receiving yards. Did we get the Zach Ertz anytime touchdown? Let's take a quick look and see what we can get.
I was trying to get 450.
Let's see what we can get here quickly. We do have 6 minutes until kickoff, so we're okay there. Let me see what Pinnacle is going to offer Ertz at. Get there. Zach Ertz. And if anyone in the chat, too, can find a nice number on Zach.
Give this to me here. Give me the plus 425. I'm going to roll the dice here.
Plus,
because I think it's possible. There's no Robinson, obviously, for the Commanders, and he's been their big red zone threat. I'll take a shot with it.
Oh, you got it. Zach Ertz anytime touchdown plus 425. And look,
I'm on it, Cap.
You can tell it's a nice look because it's just plus 314 at Pinnacle, which often, drastically changes these player props when they start getting bet. So clearly that's
beautiful. Bet. Yeah, bet MGM. I'll take it. Plus 425.
Yeah, ZC33 also got a plus 425. Thank you, Mally Mal. Thank you, Just My Two Cents. Thank you, guys. And thank you, C-Mac. Thank you, my guy. We have also him on the under 43 minus 118 in Tampa, New Orleans, hammering the board, headlining our show today. Thank you for making time for us. Please support Connor, Mack, Picks on X and the Hitting the Books YouTube channel. Every Monday it pops off. Please support that. If you can, please support our guys who support us. C-Mac, thank you, my man. Any last words for the Capper Sporting Show?
Thanks for having me on. I'm all fired now. Fire this board here, Jimmy. Bring me out and bring out the bets in me. Let's get it. Let's have a big day. Hopefully. Shout out to all you guys. I love you. As I always say, best goddamn chat in the goddamn game, hands down. I've said it for years and years and years. It's a fact. All you guys in that chat, I love you. Jared, Nilo, just my 2 cents, my dude. I love what you're doing with the UFC. Harold, Donnie, Saturated, my guy, Rod Zawacki, Spencer, all of them. I'll let you hit it, Jimmy. That's your job, baby. I'm out of here. Appreciate it, man.
There he is, Connor Mack Picks in the house. We're 4 minutes away from kickoff. That excitement, the goosebumps, the knowing how much action we have out there in a few minutes, it never gets old. It's part of why we do what we do, this excitement few minutes before kickoff. Feels so good. Let's review all action here on the show. I'm on Lions -3, Cardinals first half plus 3.5, the under 49.5 in Arizona, Green Bay, under 41.5 in Tampa, New Orleans. I got Chargers, Denver, first half under 19.5. I did have to pay -117 for that. That was on Wednesday. I didn't bet it Tuesday night after the show. I bet the full game under 36 Tuesday night. I'm on the Buccaneers -3. I paid for that too, -120. Titans -2.5, -115. Giants +4, -109. Jets money line and Jets team total over 19.5. Justin McKelvey, stacks play today #1. Dubs over 49.5 receiving yards. Stacks play today #2. Pickens over 54.5 receiving yards for Justin. Our pub sports circa millions. We just lost with the Jags, but we did catch with the 49ers. So we have Bucks -3, Texans -7, and the Lions -3 left. Bo Bano moved on Commanders team total over 21.5 and the over 51 at -112. Packers -5 at -112. Bucks -3 at -120, and the team total over 22.5 in Bucks Saints. We have Philly first half -4.5, full game or first half and full game -8. Titans money line -142 and the over 42. Chargers -148 money line. Lions -3 and the over 52. Giants +4 and the over 45. Razor Sharp Picks joined us. He's on the under 47.5. Mally Mal, the Canadian football game is tomorrow. Rod Zawacki says bet against Ottawa versus division opponents. Ottawa record since 2023, 3-12. That's totally fair, but Davis Alexander's at quarterback for Montreal. They've already clinched. They don't need to win. So I moved on the 4.5 already for the Red Blacks. Does Montreal care at all? And if they don't, Ottawa very much cares, and they've been terrible on the road. So I did move on the Red Blacks, but Zawacki, an absolute monster in CFL. You want to know exactly what he's thinking, what he's on. But I am on the Red Blacks +4.5, and that game's off the board at a bunch of books because Davis Alexander is starting at quarterback. But let's go. Razors on the under 47.5 in Arizona, Green Bay. He's on the under 42.5 in Cleveland, Philadelphia. Under 37.5 Houston, New England. He's on the under 36.5 Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, and the under 47.5 Cincinnati, New York Giants, and the under 41 Buffalo, New York Jets. Lamont Williams gave us his max bet, Tampa Bay money line, and he's parlaying Baker Mayfield passing yards over 234.5 and Mike Evans receiving yards over 55.5. Birdy joined us. What a great show today was. And you guys in the chat, putting so much energy and angles and fun into it. Washington +7 at -109 for Birdy. He's on the Arizona Cardinals +5.5. He's on the Colts money line at +130. Bengals -3.5 at -104. And Bengals money line, Lions money line parlay at +145. Then Spenny Penny Bombs gave us Jacobs over 67.5 rush yards and 75 or more and 100 or more. Yes, it's 47. Did I say 47.5? My bad. Razor, thank you. Thank you, man. Respect that. Yes, I did. I wrote down 47.5. You're right. It is 47. Thank you. You are a good man. So then we have back to Spenny's action. He's laddering Jacobs, 67.5, 75, and 100 or more. He's laddering Zay Flowers receiving props, over 55.5, 75 or more. Oh, and just anytime touchdown. Then he's on Bijan Robinson over 65.5 at -115, 75 or more and 100 or more. Shout out to our guy, Nicholas Handy here. Pop Sports Radio membership gift here. Rod Zawacki, 10-star play in NHL. Calgary money line versus Edmonton. That's wild. I am on the Oilers -1.5. I don't like being on the other side here, but I haven't bet on the Oilers once yet this year. And I know I did catch the over, thankfully, last night. But I love it. It's part of the fun is, competing with your friends and not something you'd like to do. You'd like to be on the same side. But Bijan Robinson laddered 65.5, 75 or more, and 100 or more. Montgomery over 56.5, rush yards and 75 or more. Marley is on the Bucks -3, the under 38.5 in Houston, New England, the over 51 in Washington, Baltimore. Commanders team total over 21.5 -111, the under 37 in Pittsburgh, Las Vegas Raiders, and Lions first half -2.5. Brizzy is on Derrick Henry, 80 or more yards and a touchdown together at -114. Bucky Irving anytime touchdown +100. Spencer Adler over 15.5 rush yards. Then Eagles first half -5.5. And he's on CD Lamb anytime touchdown -120 and Higgins anytime touchdown +150. We had Talk Sports with JT, bet with JT making his NFL pop-up debut. You'll see a lot more of him on the channel. Great capper. Pollard over 63.5 rush yards. Godwin over 66.5 receiving yards. And Gibbs over 59.5 receiving yards. And then we had C-Max action. Under 43 in Tampa, New Orleans. Commanders +7 at -104. Zach Ertz over 28.5 receiving yards and a touchdown and another bet. The anytime touchdown +425. Najee Harris anytime touchdown +130. Cowboys +3.5. CD Lamb over 82.5 and 100 or more at +135, as well as Houston, New England under 39.5. BJ dropped in to give us his best bets. Bengals money line, Chargers money line, Ravens -6.5, and there you go. Mally Mal rocking with Rod there. Rod's wacky had Blackhawks money line at +310. Great job. And he bet the Oilers to miss the playoffs at +675. I love it, Rod. I love it. What a fun time here in October. Sports are and then NBA right around the corner in a week and a half. Not even 9 days. 9 days to opening night in NBA. Thank you guys so much in the chat. Thank you. Thank you to our cappers who joined us on screen as well. Bobano, Razor, Birdy, Marley, Spenny, Brizzy, JT, and C-Mac. Thank you to you guys in the chat. Big Show Picks, Mally Mal, Jared TG, Rod Zwacky, Gerald Jones, Saturated T, Ivan Torkarev, Tone Miggins, Nicholas Handy, thank you for gifting that membership. It means a ton to us, my friend. Justin McKelvey, AOD, Steve G, the Truth Teller 66, Slammy, just my 2 cents. Thank you guys. Truly, we have nothing without you guys. Harold Williams, Nilo, Donnie Carabastos, ZC33, Dabby Cab. Thank you guys. Cam Raphael on CD, 2 or more touchdowns and +500 proof bets. Thank you guys. And to our producer, continually trying to make everything that we do look better, look sharper, working nonstop. The engine never stops running for our producer, Jose Bouquet, and I'm very thankful to work with him. So thank you, Jose, for all that you do for us. And on behalf of all of us here at Pub Sports Radio, Jeff Slaughter and all of us, let's go out there and get their money. Let's get the cash.